What if the man you ignored every day carried the song that could change your life? On the coldest morning in February, just as the frost was biting at the edges of the cracked Manhattan sidewalk, Mr. Samuel Hayes pushed open the back door of Harmony Heights Conservatory, a place where brilliance was expected and the unseen stayed unseen. He wore the same faded uniform he had for years. The name Sam stitched in tired thread across his chest was barely readable anymore. No one noticed. No one ever did. Harmony Heights wasn't just a school. It was an empire of excellence. Located in the heart of New York City, nestled among skyscrapers and designer storefronts, the conservatory stood like a monument to talent and privilege. The children of senators, tech CEOs, and Oscar winners filled its marble halls. Tuition could bankrupt most families for generations. And yet, every corner echoed with flawless scales, symphonies, and the occasional ego. Sam was part of the furniture. He mopped the same staircases each day, polished the recital room's crystal chandeliers, and emptied practice room trash bins littered with sheet music and half-eaten croissants. The students passed him without a glance. He existed in the background of their dazzling lives, mute, necessary, forgettable. But behind Samuel's weary eyes was a story. Before tragedy cracked his world open, he had a different name, Samuel R. Hayes, jazz prodigy. He'd once played sold-out nights in smoky Harlem clubs. He'd gotten into Juilliard on sheer talent, his fingers speaking truths he didn't yet have words for. But the universe, in its cruel timing, ripped it all away. A car accident, a phone call in the middle of the night, his wife gone, his infant daughter crying alone in the back seat, miraculously alive. Samuel had quit music the next day. It wasn't a decision. It was survival. And so for 2 decades he worked quietly. Grocery stores, overnight shifts, janitorial gigs, anything that paid just enough, anything that gave him time to raise Lily, his daughter, who was now grown and studying psychology in Ohio. She never knew her father's hands once danced on keys, but grief is a slow-burning fire. It never goes out. And some mornings, when no one was watching, Samuel let the embers stir. That morning, as the sun filtered in like gold syrup through the recital hall's tall windows, he saw it. Savannah Whitmore's Fazioli. Immaculate, towering, worth more than his entire life's earnings. Students joked it should have been encased in bulletproof glass. He knew better. It wasn't a museum piece. It was meant to be played. He approached, slowly, reverently. The room was still. He sat, barely breathing. His fingers hovered, then landed. What poured out wasn't polished. It wasn't meant for anyone but himself. It was jazz, yes, but more than that. It was the sound of loss, of a man remembering he used to be whole. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. And then came the voice. "Is he playing my piano?" Savannah stood there, her friends flanking her like paparazzi, all lip gloss and iced lattes. Her voice was ice, her tone surgical. Samuel jumped back like a criminal caught red-handed. I'm sorry, I didn't mean—" "Don't touch it again," she snapped. "It's worth more than your life." The laughter from her friends was sharper than the keys. He left without a word. and though he tried to push it away, the shame clung tighter than his uniform. That night, the conservatory shimmered under chandeliers for its monthly showcase. The lobby buzzed with velvet gowns and silk ties. Tonight's headliner, Savannah Whitmore, the Golden Girl. Samuel stayed in the shadows backstage, wiping down chairs, folding up coats, invisible again, until the announcement. Mr. Hayes. Would you join me on stage? Time stopped. He peeked around the curtain. Savannah stood in the spotlight, her voice no longer cruel, just steady, maybe even nervous. Earlier today, she said, I heard Mr. Hayes play, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. I think you should hear him too. The room shifted, eyebrows raised. Phones came out, ready to record a viral disaster. But Samuel, unsure why, his feet were moving, walked forward, onto the stage, into the light. He didn't speak, didn't bow. He just played. No sheet music, no plan, just raw emotion. The first few notes trembled like a heart remembering how to beat. Then they grew, blooming, into something haunting and heartbreakingly beautiful. The audience was frozen, not a whisper, not a breath, and when he finished, the silence shattered into thunder, a standing ovation. Even Savannah's father, who once called her concerts fancy noise, was on his feet. Samuel didn't know what to do. He wasn't used to being seen, but the moment changed everything. A student had secretly filmed it. By morning, the video had over 1 million views. Janitor Jazz trended across platforms. Headlines read, Unseen Genius at Elite School. Juilliard reposted the video, calling it a masterclass in soul. Within days, Harmony Heights officially appointed Samuel Hayes as a part-time faculty member, Jazz Improvisation. He didn't ask for it. He didn't campaign. It was given because it couldn't be ignored anymore. The students who once ignored him now sat cross-legged around him, eyes wide, pencils out. They didn't want scales. They wanted story. They wanted to learn, to feel. Savannah? She was there, every session, not with entitlement but humility. Will you help me play like that? She asked one day. You already can, Samuel replied. You just have to stop trying to impress and start trying to say something. Weeks later, they played together, a duet that silenced the room more completely than anything before. He didn't just teach her to play, he taught her to speak, without words. Samuel didn't become rich. He didn't want to. He still rode the same subway, still brought his lunch in a paper bag. But now when he passed a piano, he didn't hesitate. Sometimes all it takes is one person to listen. If this story moved you, even just a little, subscribe for more stories that shine a light on the human spirit. Share this with someone who might need it today. And comment below, what hidden talents do we walk by every day without ever seeing? Let's listen more. Let's see each other. Because sometimes the janitor holds the last note that makes the world finally stop and feel.